Hello, this is the Day After series. Well, we did it again. We started a brand new piece. This time we tackled the underarm from the elbow pit, as I call it, up to the armpit area. I designed this piece specifically, well, obviously to commingle with the tattoos around it. As we start to come nearing finishing off a lot of the larger portion tattoos. Sometimes, like this one, it wasn't a full detailed plan like I did with, let's say, my legs, where everything was completely planned and we did it 100%. With this one, I had to commingle it with my lower part of my arm, because that was one of my very first pieces of this full body tattoo, the arm part. Now, as you know, we already had to go to this arm part and add a little section to make it a little bit better. But this is actually bringing together 3 different tattoos. It's bringing together the one we did on the shoulder-ish that kind of went down the upper arm, also commingling the tattoo on the back of the arm, and of course the biggest one, making sure that it fit well with the tattoo on the lower arm, which was it was the biggest hurdle in the design phase. But as soon as I got that perfect image in my head and got it roughly down on paper, it was amazing and perfect. Well, it wasn't perfect until I brought it over to Khaled, the artist. We had the appointment set, and he had the rough design, and what he had to do was basically freehand my vision onto my arm so that it flowed well with the tattoos around it. And that was a little nervous, because trying to put an idea that I had in my head and having the artist get it on me is something that very few people can truly accomplish. I mean, if you were in the room, you would hear me and the artist talking back and forth while he's drawing on me. Is that tip okay? No, a little bit more, less curvy. A little bit longer. A little bit thinner over here, making sure that it's equidistant between these two. We were just going back and forth, collaborating while he's drawing the design on my body. And by the end of it, I had the hugest expression of emotion, of gratitude for the ability that he was able to do for me. This is, I say this all the time, this is my new favorite tattoo, honest to God. I'm not going to stop looking at it, and which is perfect, because what I was when I was explaining to him was, this section of my arm over here. Let's get a little more close up. Yeah. The section of my arm, it's been naked. That's the term I use. When my skin doesn't have a tattoo on it, it's naked. And it's summer right now, I suppose, and really freaking hot outside. And I started wearing the shorter sleeves. The winter's gone, and wearing the shorter sleeves, I realized, what? I'm sick of looking at that naked part, and I needed to. It just kind of all fit together, because obviously the idea has to come to me, and it has to be perfect. Obviously, I drew this tattoo on me and left it on to make sure that I loved it to death. Days, weeks went by while I was making sure that this is exactly what I wanted. And when the artist finally got the stencil on me, it was euphoric. It was amazing. And then it's hard to express how much I love this piece right now. So enough about that. Let's go to the procedure. Yeah, the procedure. Very, very sharp pain. Yeah, outlines are usually sharper pain than the fill-in part. typically. So yeah, very sharp pain on both sides. Both sides were relatively the same. As you know, sometimes bodies are not the same feeling. Like last time I talked about my back, but this time they were about the same. Now, it wasn't just the upper arm. We actually completed another piece that it was included in this section, which was, as you see, we had the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 spikes already on my shoulder piece going up and around my shoulder. So we had to take all 5 of those and complete the other side. So we have the 1, 2, 3, 4 going down, and then we have the 1 spike going up onto my shoulder. That fresh spike right in the middle. It's brand new. On both sides. So it really completes this upper portion of my body. Incredible. I'm very happy with the progression for continuing to finish this full body tattoo. And don't even get me started about how sad it's going to be when I actually complete it. Sad because the journey will somewhat be over. But at the same time, it'll be an incredible feeling of accomplishment knowing that I finally got through the entire process, the entire decade, more than a decade long journey to get my entire body full of these tribal tattoos. So the procedure, the outline so far is only part 1 and part 2. Outline, not that bad. Very sharp, very sharp. We got kind of close to my armpit. We didn't necessarily go on the armpit. We got pretty close though, so the skin is nice and soft up there. But really, nothing to be too worried about. However, once we did the shoulder part, that part right that I just showed you up there, that area I guess has a lot of nerves on it because that was a lot more painful. When he was, not necessarily the outline, but the filling in. When he was filling in those little spikes at the top, oh goodness, that was higher on the pain scale. And I don't know why. I didn't think that that area up there, which I guess I probably could have remembered that. all of these spikes, especially the lower ones around the ribs, they were very painful. So I don't know why I didn't remember that one was probably going to be painful. Well, it was painful. So long story short, we eventually got through it, and he bandaged me up. Not that much blood, tiny little bit of blood, not too much. So we'll see what happens in part 2 when we finish the fill-in. Most likely next time. But the procedure went fine, the drive home went fine, so nothing much to say there. Sleeping was fine. I slept on my back. Obviously when I got home, I do what I always do, you know, rehydrate. You should always rehydrate after after any tattoo, but especially after a large portion tattoo. Rehydrate your body and get some good night's sleep, get some good night rest on a clean towel. You don't want to risk any infection. You want to be nice and clean and sterile. So then I wake up and I putz about the house until I get in the shower, clean the area all nice, clean the area. Wasn't too bad. It's a little tender, especially on the part that was filled in, but not too bad. So I cleaned it off, looked a lot better after I cleaned it off. It's really not bruised around it. So this area, really not too bad. Not as much bruised at all compared to some other parts of my body where it's really like red and blue, black and blue around the tattoo. No, here you can probably see not bruised like at all. So, and then there's the idea about the ointment. I know with my back tattoo I did a dry heal because I couldn't reach it. I could reach these. I honestly decided to to do just a little dab of ointment, A&G ointment, on the filled in spike pieces just above the armpit, because that area moves, right? It's the shoulder part, you know, the arm part that moves constantly, you know, right in the crack above the armpit. So I wanted to use the A&G ointment just to keep it a little lubricated while I'm moving. Now I'm trying not to move so much, as I always try not to do. I don't want to irritate the tattoo too much while it's in the healing process. So I'm not trying to raise my hands or stretch them out so much. Otherwise, I'd show you the tattoo a little in different positions, but not now. Later. Yeah, it should be really great. It should heal just fine, as always do. I'm just going to continue to enjoy my break away from work. Don't have to go back till 5 days. I always take a nice long break after a tattoo session, so I can just relax the tattoo, let it heal on its own, and stay away from the sun and any anything that would irritate the tattoo. So that's pretty much it. So as always, this has been Lucien Gray, and thank you for watching.